On the agenda in today's episode is going to be the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, which features the first sprint race of the season here in Season 2 of my Aston Martin Road to Glory. If you haven't seen the last one, guys, link in the top right to the previous episode. Go check it out because spoilers are ahead. The Chinese Grand Prix made its return, so go see what happened in that one and hopefully you enjoy the title. But anyway, we're going to focus on today's action and today's episode. If you like and subscribe if you're going to enjoy, and let's get into it and we're going to see what's new heading into the weekend. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and purchase an upgrade for the DRS, which isn't ideal, not something I really want to do, but there's a certain amount of upgrades that I have to buy now, and that also includes durability to kind of get them out of the way so that I can unlock discounts for actual practical upgrades, because all my discounts I'm basically getting right now in practice are for pointless upgrades, so I have to basically buy them to get them off the books, and that way we can actually get some productive discounts for decent upgrades. Now in the meantime, you saw me take care of a marketing department event, which isn't really a major thing at this stage now. I'd say it doesn't really affect me that much. I chose to basically go for the option which is going to give us better acclaim. But yeah, we're going to move to the weekend because this is where the action is, as it's a sprint weekend, and we're going to get 2 races in today's episode. For our car, no upgrades, no changes. Alfa Romeo actually overtake us and get back in front of us as Haas also pull away in the midfield battle. McLaren are the biggest movers this weekend, along with Williams and AlphaTauri, who also bring improvements. We have some of our own which are scheduled to arrive in the next few rounds, but for this one we've got nothing on the car. With that said, into practice then. We're going to basically get the car shaken down, get up to speed and see exactly where the pace is around here, because of course different format with the sprint. We've got practice, then we're going straight into qualifying, and then we have practice 2 afterwards, so we're basically doing it all at once in this one. So there's going to be constant action throughout the episode, and I urge you to stay tuned because this was a crazy one. Anyway, we passed with flying colours and got that done. You can see we have pretty good pace. We got stronger each lap, however the tyre wear was a little bit higher than planned. I was already running pretty high pressures, so tyre wear could be a problem this weekend, possibly in both races. Either way, we're going to jump into qualifying and we're going to see what the 1 lap pace is saying on the soft tyres, take the sandbags off and see exactly where we are in the pecking order. So currently on our first timed lap in this session, overcast conditions but no rain forecast, so happy days. Heading through turn 9, I didn't quite catch the apex and ran a bit wide, so we're going to actually back off and go for a quick ERS recharge and go literally straight away back to it for another lap. No time for a cool off lap, just going straight away for a second push. We got a full charge, fuel and also tyres to go, so you can see we're actually doing a much better job as we're 3 tenths up nearly at the point where we invalidated last time. So this is a much better lap, and we're now going to try and see if we can close it out a little bit wide through Aquaminarale as we don't quite get the second apex. We have oversteer on the exit, but for the most part it's a very decent lap. Over the chicane, could have attacked that first curve a bit more, bit of oversteer in between the 2 apexes. Also adjusting the brake bias through there as well, because I find it keeps the car a bit more stable. But now into the 2 Ravazzas, the final corners here, looking to close out the lap, and we're going to see exactly where this banker puts us. And to be fair, this is a pretty strong one, so I'm hoping it does the job. Across the line, and it's P7 ahead of both Williams, behind Bottas, Ocon, and by the time everyone finished their laps, we was actually in P12, which is very encouraging, and we're also safe by a couple of tenths, albeit Perez is down there. He should probably improve. Besides that, we're looking pretty decent, and Perez did improve, which moved us down to P13. So with a minute and 50 to go, we're going to start our final attempt in qualifying, and we're going to see if we can get a good lap in. I've got enough time in case I need another lap. We've got a little bit of traffic to deal with on this lap, which is not going to help in the form of Hamilton. And you'll see here, heading through the first chicane, we just have a bit of oversteer, which compromised the exit, and I ran a bit wide and invalidated. So yeah, slight distraction there, also a bit of dirty air from Lewis, but we're going to basically just up the last run, recharge, get ready. We've got time, so we're going to get to the back of the queue and go again for one more attempt. So let's see, all the pressure's on. We're still safe, but we'll keep an eye on the position to see if we start to drop down. For now though, let's focus on the lap. Braking for the first chicane. Nicely done there, avoiding the yellow curbs. Could have maybe carried a bit more speed through the first one to tighten up the line and get a better exit through the second corner and the third one. Into the Villeneuve chicane though, we do find a little bit of time through here and recover a bit, as in the first sector we're down by approx half a tenth. Making our way through the Tosa hairpin, nicely done, decent exit. We match pretty much our previous attempt as we now head into Piratella. Briefly down a fifth, quickly back up to sixth, and that was really nice, right at the limits there of the white line. And now into Acqua Minerale, this time going to try and keep it a bit closer to the apex, as you can see, and the exit, to be fair, lets us down, but we've still gained a little bit of time through there. Now brake bias up to 54, bouncing over the curbs, and that is much more like it as we attack the first apex more and get the drive and the speed through there, and that puts us a tenth up. Readjust the brake bias as we now head into the final two corners, currently P19, so we need this lap, and look at that, we found a load of time through the two final corners. Exit wasn't great, let me down a little bit, but across the line, so 2/10 improvement. However, we're not going to move into Q2. We're just going to miss out by the smallest of margins, literally less than 2/100ths of a second. That's how close it was in the end. So real shame, because there was a couple of errors, you know, the first three corners of the lap and also the final corner weren't particularly great. We lost a little bit of time, and we could have easily finished P13 with a slightly cleaner lap and probably dipped into the 114s had I, you know, hooked it all up. So I'm a little bit gutted, because we could have got Q2 for the first time and that would have been sweet. But instead, it's another Q1 knockout, 5 in a row, and our bad run in qualifying this season continues. And yeah, it really isn't going according to plan. For now though, qualifying done, we then took part in FP2, took care of the practice programs and the discounts, and yeah, we're now ready to rock and roll for the sprint race, so let's get into it.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Russell, Carlos Sainz and Perez, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Ocon and Kevin Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, Latifi, Pierre Gasly and Tsunoda, Joe, Martinez, Alex Albon and Valtteri Bottas.
So normally I don't do intros in the sprint, but this could be an interesting one. So we're starting from 16th place, of course. Penalties apply to the main race, not to this one. So it's important that we try to gain as many places as possible for the main race. As for strategy, we're going to start in the medium tyre, but we have that rain, which I don't know if the forecast is designed for sprint or for full races, but if that arrives, that could be very interesting. So we'll see what happens on that one. In terms of fuel load, I'm going to go for 0.5 extra. We can always adjust heading into the main race. Same goes for the tyre pressures, which if we scroll over, you can see I'm running +2 on the front, +5 on the rear, which is pretty high, but it's going to do us a good favour. But yeah, that rain is the key thing here. I don't know what to expect. Of course, we saw last race in China, we had one single rain icon and it changed within half a lap and actually finished in wet the whole race. It actually stayed a bit longer than what was originally planned. So let's see what happens, and hopefully this goes well. Right then, here we go. Time for part one of the two races. Sprint race time. First one of the season, and we're underway. Good start, we'll take that. Very good start, not losing a place. Might be able to actually gain a place as we head down to turn one. Oh my god, I was trying to guess 3 wide, try and keep the front wing, if possible. Joe moved right across at the last minute and I almost lost my entire wing. Luckily, we're still alive and still holding afloat. We'll try and see if we can make a few moves realistically. We can try and get the AlphaTauris as we try to get Pierre. We struggle on traction there. We do get Joe, but Pierre gets back in front. We can also look to get Yuki maybe, as we have a bit of a poor run through there. Going to try and keep Joe behind. I can already tell my straight line speed seems a bit low. We're going to try and get aggressive as well, because there's, you know, places to be gained in this one if we can just get the right moves done at the right time.
Okay, radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Okay, so we're definitely not going to get any rain. That forecast is designed for a full race, so we'll treat it as such. We clear Gasly and we're now up into 14th place. Stroll pits for damage.
Lance is in the pits.
Right then, let's get back to work. Let's try and get Snowder. Also Latifi, to be fair, we could definitely get him. There's a contact ahead. Cars in the gravel, and there's a pile-up. Whoa, we've just avoided that. Both Haas cars have come together. And we have a safety car.
Okay, the virtual safety car's been deployed. Slow down and maintain a positive delta. There's been an incident resulting in a high level of debris on the track. Be careful.
No one pits, so P9 is going to be our position for the race restart. 1 place away from points. Of course, the top 8 scored points in a sprint. It would be funny after, we've had 4 rounds this season, that in round 5 we score our first point in a sprint race. But to be fair, I'm not even too fussed about scoring a point. I think if we could start the race from P9, I'd be very happy with that. Ricardo, realistically, will probably get past. He's so much quicker than me, but I think a top 10 finish is realistic. But we'll obviously try and get the elbows out and try and fight for a point. So here we go. Time for the restart. We're going to get 7 racing laps. Realistically, we're a bit out of position because the cars ahead are faster, and so is Daniel. After that, I think we can hold on to that top 10 finish, but we'll try and do the best we can. My tyres are a little bit on the colder side, which I'm a bit concerned about. But anyway, back underway. We've got the restart time to perfection here.
Okay, clear.
We may just get a chance to clear Ocon as we race down to the first chicane. Up the inside we go. Oh, I've got no tyre temp. Oh, that's a big mistake. Ricardo gets through. We're going to keep Latifi at bay, but that's what I was worried about. Tyre temperatures is not fully there. Back end snapped on me straight away as I was.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes.
As I was saying, I was going to get Ocon, but never mind. Now we've got to try and stay ahead as Latifi looking to go through. We're going to make our car nice and wide. And try to keep him behind, just like that. Let's see if we can try and keep up with the cars ahead. I'm not too confident, but we'll give it a go. I've got to say, the pace is actually surprisingly good. I'm keeping up with these two, and we're going to have DRS on this lap, so we've got ourselves within range. Of course, Lando's also leading the train, but there's no cars, stopping Ocon or Ricardo right now. There's no delays, so this is genuine pace, and we're actually keeping up here, which is awesome. Another thing, just like we saw with the big crash at the first chicane, the AI are very dirty here, so things could still happen, and if it don't happen now, they'll happen in the main race. The key thing is that we stay out of those incidents. I don't think we're out of this just yet, but we need a bit of luck and a few things to go our way. Ricardo does seem to be struggling in corners, I'd say, but on the straights, he's rapid, so yeah, we'll see if he can just put a lunge down the inside of Ocon.
Expecting rain in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, so rain's not going to be a factor. Maybe we could be a factor though. Try and also force Ricardo to push, because that will make him then catch up on as well. Just Ocon opens up enough of a gap that, we can't really challenge. I'm also not out of battery, so unless Ricardo forces a move, I'm not going to get by here. The DRS train effect is too strong. Here we go. This might be it. Last lap of the race. This isn't over yet. There we go. There we go. Come on. Ocon with the squeeze. I'm having none of that. Last lap, so they are going to be in full power mode here. Ocon on the inside. Around the outside we go, leaving space. There's no way I'm giving up this inside line into Minerale. We're taking that one. Thank you very much, Sunshine. And that's exactly what I was waiting for. Not over yet though. Ocon back for more. But I'm strong through here though. Ricardo with the lunge out of nowhere. I had to leave some space, but crucially we've done enough. And I think we can bring this one home. I think for the first time it's going to happen. We're going to get our first point of the season. So we're going to finish the sprint race in 8th place from P16 on the grid. And we're going to score our first points of the season. Yes.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Hello there and welcome back to Imola, home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters in red today. They've all turned out for what we have every expectation will be a sensational event here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. A lap of Imola, anti-clockwise of course, unlike most Formula One circuits, will take our drivers round 3.1 miles of track. 19 turns, 9 right-handers and 10 left. Drivers will need to be precise at the hairpin turn 7, given the subsequent uphill section. Without a good exit from that corner, they'll lose a lot of time on that stretch. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Perez. Martinez, Ricciardo, Ocon and Lance Stroll, Vettel, Zhou, Yuki Tsunoda and Mick Schumacher, Magnussen, Russell, Pierre Gasly and Valtteri Bottas. Latifi, they've taken a grid penalty, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Anthony Davidson, a lot of talented drivers out on the track today, but what will stand out for you?
My focus is 100% on the front of the grid. Like you said, we're seeing a lot of strong competition across those positions, so it would be super interesting to see the fight for that front spot. Personally speaking, I'm hoping for plenty of overtakes.
So we'll keep the intro short, but we're basically running the same setup as the sprint. Everything worked well. Fuel-wise, I'm going to go for 0.2, a little bit less this time as fuel efficiency wasn't a problem in the sprint race. Strategy, medium to hard, very simple one stop, and we're starting from P7, so I think we can actually get a few more points. So hopefully, I really hope we can deliver and we can really get our season on track. Here we go then. Time for the main event. Can we deliver? Another good start, really good start, just like in the sprint. Perez here being run out of road. Gonna try and have a look at the inside though. Gonna get Hamilton as well. Lofty heights here, I might get a nosebleed at this kind of position right now. Anyway, 2 places gained. That is a brilliant start, and I'm very happy with that. So, we've got a race on our hands. Can we somehow find the pace to compete and mix it up with the big boys up here in these positions? Hamilton to the outside. It's gonna close the inside door. Pressure already building from behind. This ain't gonna be easy, but it is what it is. Things will get better on lap 3 once DRS gets enabled and the AI essentially kind of cool off on their pace a bit. But these first 2 laps are going to be very, very, very tough to keep up and run the pace. So we're going to have to use a big chunk of the battery to stay competitive here. So far though, we're hanging in there. I'm going to focus up now and do my thing. We'll just quickly see how this final corner goes and how the exit is. Follow my straight line speed's not great, but it's not as bad as I thought. In a sprint it was pretty decent, and yeah, we're not doing too badly, so let's chip away. I'm going to get my head down and try to push on. I'll tell you what, we could be in the mix today. We've held on to DRS range. Got to try and do one more lap though, to be fair. We're not there yet.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Got Purple in sector 3. Meanwhile, Norris and Verstappen battling for the race lead. Hamilton and Ricciardo battled last lap, which is why they're now second adrift.
Green flag.
And something's happened further back. Meanwhile, up ahead, Leclerc going at it with Verstappen, and this is allowing Norris to break away. I'm trying to have a stab around the outside of Carlos here. Stroll's out, so we're down a car. Can we get Carlos? Around the outside we go, and that is an excellent pass. Let's go for it, man. I was, planning on doing a bit of, race preservation and protecting maybe a top 10 finish, but I think we can mix it with these guys. I really do. So we're going to treat it as such. We're going to get the elbows out, and we're going to try and race these guys mono a mono and see if we can somehow pull off a miracle, because I think we might have a chance of a podium if this pace is legit.
And some information on Leclerc. They seem to have an issue.
Oh my god, could it happen? Could we bag a podium? We're going to have to pass Charles now, and we need to try and stay in the DRS of Verstappen and Norris. That would be so good for our race if we can make that happen. So I'm just going to wait and be patient. And we'll look to pass Leclerc on the main straight. I don't know if he'll have DRS. They look pretty close in the margins. No, he doesn't. Okay, we can use minimal battery here to get this one done. And that moves us into the top 3. Meanwhile, up ahead, Verstappen, Norris going at it yet again. Oh, Leclerc back up the inside. Wow, what the hell was that all about? Whew, so lucky not to get floor damage.
Tyre condition still looking good.
Right, we've got Hamilton for company. Let's see if we can close in on these two. I wonder if maybe one of them got damaged. There was a bit of contact. Imola, though, is just a dirty race for the AI. Hamilton lurking. We'll just show him to the outside. Just like that. I think we can do this, you know. Lando's right there. Verstappen's trying to make a break for it. I'm using all the battery, but I think I can get DRS. And there we go, we've done it. We've got DRS on Lando. Also, Lando about to lose DRS on Max. Max really trying to make a break for it. Also, Hamilton will be here for company, but crucially now I can chill out a little bit, use the straight line speed advantage, and just basically try to recharge the batteries a little bit. I do wonder if I could go after Max. I don't think I've got the pace, but I could sit in his DRS, but I wonder if the gap's got a bit too big. I don't know if I can gain, you know, a full second on Max. Also, the issue with Lando right now that I'm having, he's very fast on the straight, so the McLaren has got some insane straight line speed, so he's very hard to pass. So I'm quite happy sitting here because it's given us a chance to save fuel, or keep the fuel at least where it is, and also save the battery, which is the main thing. Checo's catching up, he's dragging, I think, Sainz or Leclerc with him, so yeah, things are happening, but crucially this suits our race right now. The pace is actually really good. I'm competitive. I can get a podium today. Lando's definitely got damage. If you look through that particular corner at the Villeneuve chicane, he just misses the apex every single lap. That's the perfect chicane. We're getting pretty good through there now. I feel like I've got a big advantage. We've got to try and stay close to Lando though. The McLaren is so fast on that pit straight, it's actually incredible. So we need to be right on his rear end. I've been, you know, studying for a few laps the possibility of passing him, and it's not going to be easy.
We're going to box this lap, push hard on the in-lap.
I'm going to try and get to the inside, because then we can avoid what happened with the Leclerc. Just like that. Lovely. Right, let's push on now. Let's use all the battery and see what kind of pace we have. Wasn't the best chicane, but good enough that I think I can break the DRS. This is our scheduled pit stop lap, I think. I'm going to go a bit longer. I feel pretty good right now. Verstappen's staying out. I think I can get his DRS maybe. So we're going to use the battery up as we've hit the deployment. Fast lap of the race. And that says a lot right there. We'll pit this lap though. Very, very, very incredible first stint. Max, I think, is going to pit as well. He's using engine mode, I can tell, on the straights. He might get held here if Norris and Hamilton follow me in. Ideally, Norris is the one that could hold him up, but Norris stays out, which is a shame. Only Hamilton pitting with us. Verstappen isn't going to get held in that case, which is a shame. I was hoping for a slight hold up. 2.3, not a bad stop. Missed the timing on the pull away there a little bit, but still. Onto the hard tyre now. Verstappen isn't that fast. Checo's a lot faster. Max has some damage. He's not super fast. He's catchable, I think.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
I'll try and see what I can do, but we're going to get really badly dropped, I think, on this first lap. And Hamilton's going to get himself within range on the cold tyres. I just struggle so much compared to the AI on cold rubber. Right, the remaining cars are in the pits. I think I've managed to keep Hamilton out of DRS range, although he's still absolutely flying. he's probably the favourite to win because he's got a healthy car, no damage. We're going to be still ahead of all those cars that we were ahead of before, so we haven't lost out. And we've now got the tyres warm, so we've managed to, I'd say, do a pretty good job there of dealing with the cold tyre phase. Verstappen getting the burners on now though. Let's see, I might, to be fair, look at letting Hamilton go to then let him drag us up to Verstappen. That could be an option. Ocon out of the race. That's a moment through there. That's going to put Hamilton on us. I'm out of battery now. Trying to push hard. We'll take that inside line, but this is costing us time to Verstappen.
Yellow flag.
Checo flying. Yellow flag. Hamilton approaching.
Green flag.
Max is the same pace as me. We're at the exact same pace. Gap staying at 2 seconds. Checo might actually look to challenge Hamilton here. Which would be nice. They can battle and lose time, whatever, and I can just drive off, which is exactly what's happening. Getting into the final 10 laps now, getting closer to crunch time. This is going to be close. I've managed to keep Checo out of DRS on this lap. Gap to max 1.2. I'm hoping to be in Max's DRS on the next lap, and that will hopefully bail me out versus Checo, because he's the threat now with a fully healthy Red Bull. Oh my god.
Okay, clear.
Perez out of contention. Something happened with Hamilton, I think. Is it too ballsy to say I can win this race? Because I might just be able to win it. Sergeant Hamilton now going out into turn 1. Something could happen there quite easily. I'm close to max now. I'm going to try and use all the battery to get DRS in this lap. Perfect. Perfect. Nailed the chicane. What a lap, by the way, this is. But we're there. We've got DRS on max. So now, I'm going to take my time. See if I can keep up with him. But crucially, try and recharge all my battery up. And then have a go in the closing stages. We've got no pressure from behind. The AI keep taking themselves out. Checo, you know, Leclerc, they've all been victims. Norris with damage. Verstappen's got some slight damage. And that's working good for us. Also, I need to save fuel as we're on the cusp. So we'll just take a few laps here to prepare everything before we make a move. But we can win this. The Red Bull's acceleration is really, really strong. Their top speed isn't as good as the McLaren, but they just really drive off on the corner exits. Hamilton now has rejoined the party, so just got to watch things here as Lewis tries to have a look up the inside. I'm going to shut the door clear on his face though. Need to start looking at making the move now. Oh no, I've lost my battery. DRS offline at the crucial moment. Oh, I have to really push that brake zone there to try and stay in DRS range, which we've managed to achieve, but I've got no batteries, so we could be in a bit of trouble here. Here comes Hamilton. We're going to show him to the outside. Batteries back online. That was a brief but unnecessary issue. Right, let's push, push, push now. We've got to try and catch back up to Verstappen. A little bit far back. I'm trying to push.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Not close enough. Oh, that was a crucial thing we didn't need there. A little detail which has really hurt us at the wrong time. I'll try and keep the pressure on. We may still be able to pass him somewhere due to the damage. But we have to be pretty much perfect. Oh, back end there was letting go. Max is going to be in full power mode now as well. Oh, I tried to really throw it through there, but it's not going to happen. Oh, I'm gutted, man. I really thought we could have won this race. I really did. I was preparing everything beautifully, but the batteries just let me go and let me down at the wrong time. Verstappen's going to win in Imola. We'll take a podium, though. What a result. We needed that so badly.
Nice work, mate. You did really well today. I think the boss is going to be happy with that one.
As they climb out of the car, the Red Bull team are ready and waiting to celebrate a thoroughly deserved win. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they've secured here.
So after 2 races and a very long race weekend, we come away from Imola with 19 points to our name, which is absolutely phenomenal. I'm so happy about this result, and I haven't usually done that well in this track in the past, but right place, right time, and some decent pace as well to go with it helped us out, and we just seem to have a really good car this weekend. The upgrades seem to be working well and gave us a bit more pace than I originally expected. So 2nd place and our first podium of the season, and our first podium ever. We finished 4th 3 times last season. We never quite stood on the rostrum. Today we've made history, and it's great to also bounce back because the last race, of course, Lance scored points and we could have done so, and to answer back straight away is phenomenal, scoring points in both races. Anyway, let's look at the final rundown. So Verstappen wins, we finished 2nd, Hamilton 3rd, then Norris, Sainz, Perez, Leclerc, Russell P8 with the fastest lap, and then Magnussen and Tsunoda round out the top 10. Latifi misses out, and then further down as we scroll to the bottom, Stroll, of course, that early DNF in the race. If we look at the race weekend results overall, he was the highest scorer of, I'd say the midfield, 4th place overall, which is pretty decent. Lando having a strong weekend, but yeah, let's look at the standings because this is where you're going to see a difference. We jump up into 9th place, and that straight away gets our season right back on track, and where I was hoping to be. Both cars in the top 14, with Lance, of course, getting those 2 points. And in the Constructors, it means we're up to 5th as we leapfrog all of our rivals, which is exactly what I said at the last episode right at the end. I said Alpine are a rival this year because Latifi is a much weaker link than Alonso, and Ocon hasn't been as great. So this is where we need to be, and possibly challenging McLaren. But for now, 5th place is what we need to do. So guys, very happy, great sprint. Like, subscribe. What an episode. I think it fully deserves that like and that subscription if you haven't done so already. And yeah guys, we go again in the next one. As always, a big plug and shout out to the members for supporting the channel. Check out the 2 videos on screen, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Have a good rest of your weekend guys, and I'll see you very soon.